Hi. Have you ever gotten up in the morning and had this great idea that you're gonna like practice and do your movement exercise, whatever it is that you do, and you just feel bogged down and you don't have the energy? You feel like, oh, I just don't want to move my body, or I just can't move my body. And then you go down this spiral of like, oh, I know I feel guilty, I'm not good enough, and la 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 la, all of this like trajectory of following through with this thinking that doesn't necessarily actually encourage you to go back and do the practice, but you just kind of talk yourself out of it, and then you do potentially something that's like a coping mechanism and so on. What is actually going on when we don't feel like we want to move our body? So daily we have to process a lot of information. We have to process thoughts, emotions, events, energies, and so on. And most of us need time to do this, and most of us do it through sleep. And then in the morning we should ideally wake up and feel like refreshed and ready to go. But if you feel, like I said, in the morning that you're like bogged down, there's just not enough energy in and enthusiasm for you to move, well, what are you gonna do? So instead of going down this downward spiral of like the negative trajectory and talking yourself out of it and not doing it and saying, well, I'm an adult, so like if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not gonna do it, which we tend to do sometimes, and then you drink more coffee, and it's just like the whole day you just never feel like you can catch up on energy or on feeling good. So what actually is really going on is that you are either overwhelmed by thoughts, emotions, energies, and they could come from varying degrees of intensities and varying like directions. So when this happens, and I'm just going to mention the female body and our experiences, you know, not necessarily talking about the female period, but that's kind of what happens when we're going through the female period. Sensations in our body, our mind, the chip, the nervous system completely like overrides itself and changes. And you just feel like you can't do the things that you seemingly could do easily with no problem. So say you've done your movement practice every day for like 3 or 4 days in a row, and it felt really good. So you know that the result of actually doing it is awesome. So you have that experience, and that you know that if you do it, you will feel good, but you just can't do it. You just can't seem to get yourself to move. What you should do, or what you could do to help yourself, is interrupt the negative trajectory of thoughts and then try to neutralize them. And how are we going to do that? So what happens is when we're like really, really focused on thoughts and feeding into more of them, it's like we fight fire with fire. So we add more fire and then we blow on it and so on, and it just gets bigger and then you feel worse. What we need to do is interrupt the trajectory of negativity, the downward spiral, and we can do that by sitting down, grounding for a few moments, and working on some breath work. So I'm not saying take one breath and like, everything's gonna be fine. I'm not saying take 2 breaths. I'm not saying take 3. I'm saying take 5 or more, so that you can feel the difference between normal breathing, talking, moving, doing, and then absolutely focused breath work and feeling into like, oh, if this is where I normally breathe into, if this was like a floor 4, can I breathe deeper and really feel like an expansion in my throat, or maybe even in my ears or eyeballs? So if you can do that, stop yourself, ground your feet, take a moment, take 5 breaths and really expand into them. Then you will get yourself to a place from trajectory, negative thinking, sharp thoughts, into fuzzy mind. And when you get yourself to fuzzy mind, you're gonna like oxygenate your brain in a different way. You're gonna feel a lot more sensory instead of thinky. So those are just words that I'm using to explain, but I think they're simple enough and then also descriptive enough. So we're taking the sharpness out of the thoughts and we're fuzzing them down with the breath work. As a result, you're gonna feel better in your body. Your nervous system's gonna go like, wow, I'm getting like nice treatment. This person wants to breathe well so that everybody can work better. Then once you've gotten yourself to fuzzy thoughts, you have neutralized the trajectory of negativity. And now what do? Yeah? So now you can't just jump in and go like, I feel great, I'm gonna exercise. Well, maybe you can like use your willpower and just do it. Or you can now start to like touch and tap, breathe. You can sigh out. You can shake your chest. I love to do tapping and sort of jumping and exhaling loudly like we do in my classes, because that is going to start your lymphatic system. It's going to excite your nervous system. It's going to get your whole body feeling like it's a party, like a really good party where every cell is enjoying it and every system is going to benefit. And so then maybe you've tapped yourself from the head all the way down and so on. Now you have taken like a few moments of your life, taken a situation, interrupted it, neutralized it, and now you can actually shift it in whatever direction you want to do. So if like literally there's like a physical pain and you can't move, or you've exercised too much the day before, or you have some kind of an injury, well, back off, ease off, or move in a way that you feel like you can get something out of it, you can feel good in your body. The idea is to feel good in your body so your body can produce new chemicals, and these chemicals are going to make you feel good, and you're going to have the ingredients for a really good day. So we've gotten to this point. Maybe you've moved around a little bit, you've done something, that's good. That is way better than doing nothing and calling yourself names like, I'm not good at this, I don't like the practice, maybe I need to look for a different practice. Set that aside. What is in the way between you getting your movement done, and you've done it for 3 or 4 days ahead, like in the recent days, so you know that the results of movement are going to get you to feel good. So what is in the way between you doing it and then the result of feeling good? There's some kind of a mental, emotional, or energetic blockage. And as we humans have to process all of this information, like I said, from different directions and from different like intensities, we need time and space for that. So if you hadn't slept well and you hadn't processed all of this stuff from yesterday because A, B, C, or D, and if that happens over and over and over again, then you get into this pattern where you feel shitty in the morning, you need more coffee, you want to blame it on somebody else, you try to look for different things to make you feel better. The idea is to get yourself to ground, take the sharpness out of the trajectory of negativity, neutralize, and then take that sort of empty space and start to create some meaning, and then you can mold your day with the ingredients now, the new ingredients, instead of holding on to the old ones. So that mental, emotional, or energetic blockage is something that isn't you. But if you over and over and over again try and simulate it into your day, and then it's going to become you. It may even become your personality. But the idea is to become conscious of these things, especially when we don't want to move or when we don't want to do the thing that we know is going to make us feel good. Then you really have to take that responsibility of sitting down, grounding yourself, interrupt, neutralize, and change. If you're somebody who's very movement oriented, it means that you like the process of movement as a way to like process. Like I said, we need time to process things, thoughts, emotions, energies. Then you know that there's this thing called the warm-up, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes every time you start something. So if you hike every day, or if you bike or you swim or whatever, you know that there's that moment where you're just like oiling the machine. And then at some point you start to get hot in the face. You're like, start to feel the muscles. And then at some point, like say it's a 15-minute mark, you just like, boop, boop. It's like you walk through a bubble of ease. And at this point, the sharpness of thoughts fuzzes out, and your thoughts become fuzzy, and then they're fuzzy, and you are more sensing. And when you're in that sensing space, you know, you could be tapping yourself to feel more your body, to get yourself in your body, out of your thoughts and into your body, and out of your emotions and into your senses. So if you can do that, you know, as somebody who likes to move and exercise, then you know the benefit of the warm-up. You know that the warm-up is not a sacrifice. It's not something that makes you feel bad. It's something that is an investment so that you can get the result that you need and are looking forward to, so that your day can be better and you can actually infuse positivity in your day. So if you feel bogged down a lot every day, well, that's a different story. Maybe you're not processing, maybe you're not resting correctly. So for that, you could check in with a specialist, or you could, obviously I deal with this myself, you can private message me and see if you want to do a private session, and we can work on like sleep, rest, what are your energetic levels, what are you doing with your mind, what are you doing with your emotions, how you can use movement and meaning and infuse it into your day so you can actually have better days and so on. But if this, you can sleep well and once in a while you just notice, hey, well, this is kind of funky, I don't know, I can't move, yeah, then literally ground yourself, interrupt, neutralize, and change, transform so that you can create a better day. When we have our periods as women, this is normal. We have to sort of deal with a complete lockdown of what was yesterday, and then something shifts inside of us from our nervous system to like the thought patterns and everything, and we're like, who are we? Who put the crazy chip inside, or the emotional chip, or whatever chip? But as women, we know that we have to deal with this, and we have to still perform and go to work and be people, and not drop out of life and just stay in bed and forget about everything. But it is important to acknowledge those times. And apart from that, anytime you're feeling bogged down, it has to do with either mental, emotional, energetic blockages that you can easily become aware of, and in very, very few easy steps. So in my other account, the PRANACORE online classes, we actually deal with this, and we have some classes that deal with mindfulness and breath work to interrupt this and get you out of these sort of boggy, heavy feelings, and activating and making the body feel more alive, and having you have that responsibility and sort of the choice to make your day a little bit better. So if you're interested, and if you've liked this, maybe comment down below. If you want to private message me, you can, for private sessions or any kind of guidance and help towards feeling better during the day, empowering yourself. I am so excited to do that kind of work. And if you want to come over and try some of our classes, just go to pranacore.online.classes on Instagram for the live and recorded classes, which we offer monthly. And the price is $50 US for a monthly membership. And we have classes every second day, from 20 minutes to 30 to 40 to 50 and so on. I hope this made some sense, and I hope you have a beautiful day.